Hello, my name is Omar Abisad. It's 4:47 p.m., January 22nd, 2021. So I posted a lot of videos and tweets and so on about, on my Twitter account, about being bombarded with microwave signals and being harassed, oxygen, oximeter, blood pressure. So I'm not going to do it in this video. If I feel strange, I'm going to take off the camera. So I wanted to read an article that I got in the newsletter from Dr. MERCOLA, and he talked about the war on free speech. And it's interesting, before I start reading, make this comment, that this observation that now that we are forced online, there is no contact, face-to-face contact, almost none. We are being forced to go online and do everything online, everything. Socialize, banking, work, make all the contacts for sales, purchases, groceries, and so on, everything. And of course, we use Twitter and we use Facebook and all that to socialize and to express ourselves. So now that we are online, we are being edited online. We are being locked out. We are being told what to say and what not to say. Another form of control, and it makes it a lot easier. The control makes it a lot easier because everything is being done online. And this is one of the nefarious agenda between the steps, hidden between the steps, I should say, of the COVID-19, quote unquote, pandemic. The steps that was taken to deal with the pandemic, this agenda is hidden between those steps. Long way of saying it. It's kind of like having the Wizard of Oz. The wizard is a little old man pulling the strings in the back of the stage, hidden, kind of like that. And it becomes clear only when it takes place. It's in your face. So, anyways, by way of introduction, none of this is rehearsed, by the way. This is very, very impromptu. I didn't even read all of this article that I'm going to just go over with you. I'm not going to read the entire article. I just scanned it. Everything I say is impromptu. None of it is rehearsed. I just have a general idea of what I want to talk about. And if I have an article, then I kind of focus in on that, the issues that the article brings up. So this one here that I'm going to do today is titled Decentralization Urgent as Big Tech Condemns Free Speech. Big Tech condemns free speech. So these are the bullet points at the top. Story at a glance. In recent days and weeks, we've seen an unprecedented wave of censorship sweep across the internet. The only solution will be decentralized platforms that virtually eliminate censorship. In what appears to be a coordinated attack, Google, Apple, and Amazon destroyed Parler, a main competitor to Twitter and Facebook, literally overnight by yanking it from the app stores and web hosting service all of Parler's vendors, from text message services and email providers to lawyers, also canceled their contracts. A social media approach began in earnest January 7th and 8th, 2021, with a permanent ban of President Trump and a long list of other conservatives from Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Twitter reportedly suspended more than 70,000 accounts during its weekend purge. Rep. Devin Nunes, our California, is calling for a racketeering investigation into big tech, saying Amazon, Apple, and Google suspension of Parler is clearly a violation of antitrust, civil rights, and the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organization Act, the RICO Act. According to an October 2020 report by the House Judiciary Subcommittee on Antitrust, Commercial, and Administrative Law, Amazon, Apple, Facebook, and Google will have monopoly power and are using that power to rid themselves of competition. In recent days and weeks, we've seen an unprecedented wave of censorship sweep across the internet. As noted by CoinDesk, this is now the body of the article, by CoinDesk.com, that we need a decentralized web is more evident than ever, and now's the time to advance such plans. Just as Bitcoin redistributed power from the legacy financial system in favor of peer-to-peer electronic cash, and next-generation internet aims to redistribute power from corporate giants like Google and Facebook to sovereign individuals who own and control their own data. So let me just repeat that. Just as Bitcoin redistributed power from the legacy financial system in favor of peer-to-peer electronic cash, the next generation internet aims to redistribute power from corporate giants like Google and Facebook to sovereign individuals who own and control their own data. To achieve this monumental goal, changes must be made to the internet's underlying architecture. Thankfully, the pace of progress is dramatically accelerating in three foundational components: storage, naming, and database. Obviously, suddenly my throat is hurting. Obviously, 2020 will be remembered for the immense amount of pain and suffering endured by millions around the globe. However, throughout history, moments like these are often accompanied by great periods of innovation and creativity. It is through these hopeful lenses that we see a world where the decentralized web eventually becomes the web, with fairness, freedom, and individual sovereignty at its core. And as the past year has shown, many brilliant people are laboring tirelessly to make this dream a reality. So there is hope, very much so. Major decentralization advances are in the works, title of the next section. The CoinDesk article points out that movement toward decentralized storage and databases has been fast and furious and includes an extensive list of developments. Each changes to how the domain name system, the DNS functions, are in the works. So why decentralize the DNS? As noted in the article, within the current system, the bottom line is you can be erased from the internet at any moment, for any reason, by anyone with enough power. Decentralized DNS makes it virtually impossible for authorities to shut down access to the web, and gives individuals real ownership over their digital identities, communication channels, and means of commerce. You can't simply rely on Amazon's AWS. You have to leverage Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and self-hosting in combination with each other to drastically improve the resiliency of what you're building, he says. And that's a quote from Anthony Pompliano. Private companies can do whatever they want, and they are reminding us of that. But in doing so, they are also reminding millions of people that there can be a better world, a world where no single person or organization gets to dictate what information we receive. No single person or organization gets to choose who gets amplified and who gets silenced. The power of choice was stripped from the user and is now being monopolized by the platform creators. The beloved tech giants are becoming villains. This will lead to a rise in new challengers. It's a circle of life in technology. If you can't influence the status quo, just disrupt it. And I think that is exactly what we need at this point. We can leverage technology to take the power from these monopolies and allow the user to choose who and what to consume. Okay, so it's a fairly lengthy article. And that was an introduction. I didn't read the whole thing. I intend to. Very interesting topics here. So anti-war, one of the sections, anti-war conservative banned. While incitement of violence is being used as a justification for banning social media accounts, Facebook's suspension of Dr. Ron Paul, a former Republican congressman for Texas and presidential candidate in 2011, punctures that narrative. He's one of the most peaceful anti-war personalities out there. Make no mistake, quote, make no mistake, eventually all will be targeted. Acceptable speech will continue to narrow until everyone has something to lose by opening their mouth and expressing an opinion. He's also an outspoken defender of civil liberties and health freedom. In September 2020, interviewed me for his Liberty Report, discussing strategies to boost your immune system. Paul also promotes sound money and exposes political and financial corruption, so perhaps this is where the problem lies. In January 11, 2021, Twitter post, Paul noted, with no explanation other than repeatedly going against our community standards, Facebook, that's quote, that's the reason, repeatedly going against our community standards. Facebook has blocked me from managing my page. Never have we received notice of violating community standards in the past, and nowhere is the offending post identified. The only thing we posted to Facebook today was my weekly Texas Straight Talk column, which I have published every week since 1976. Okay. What's behind the push for censorship? According to big tech, free speech is dangerous. Yes, a follow-up question. Just such, I thought it was one of the foundation of democracy. I guess a foundation, but I forgot we're not dealing with the democracy anymore. We're in a new world order. That's me talking. I guess a follow-up question to such a statement would be, to whom? Who is it dangerous to? As mentioned earlier, agencies such as DARPA are using the online services of private companies, and according to independent journalist Whitney Webb, COVID-19 epidemic has given a dangerous boost to DARPA's darkest agenda. Okay. Might it be, just skipping ahead here, if our histories are a guide, if histories are a guide, could the clampdown be if histories are a guide, could the clamp down on free speech be part of a bigger control and manipulation agenda? One that is directed not towards foreign enemies, but a local population? Might it be part of the Great Reset agenda with its transhumanist bend? Okay, so I'm just going to leave you with that. I believe there may be some truth in that. I'll leave you with that idea too, so you can read that. And I have something boiling on the pot, and I'm sure it's boiling over my time limit, over its time limit. Okay, so very long article here. So I'm not going to read all of it for you. So I just teased you with a bit of introduction. Very good article. I'll post the link. So do read it. So that's 15 minutes. I'm just going to stop there. I feel fine. The knee is being pulsed, and the ankles are also being pulsed. But the upper body is feeling fine. I'm not getting any heart palpitations or any pains or anything. So I'm going to quit while I'm ahead here and talk to you another time.